Just a short while ago, I mounted this diesel heater box that I had made on the side of my camper. And today, I'd like to start actually installing the diesel heater inside of it and hooking it up. I've got some electrical wire because it's going to need power. And this looks right kind of gnarly right now, but I do have some stainless steel flex hose that left over from a chimney installation for a pellet stove, 3-inch, that I will be using. Now, this installation is by the seat of my pants. I've never installed one of these before, but I think I'm ready. If nothing else, though, it's going to be difficult because the trailer is not high, and for part of this, I am waiting on some jack stands. This is the plug for the heater that goes right in there. And I've cut the eyelets off the end, and I am going to be using this number 14 solid wire that I'm going to clip under the inside of the frame on the trailer. It has to go from the back all the way up to the nose. Number 14 is plenty big enough. Probably should use stranded. That's, kosher with things that move. But I've got this, and it's the right size, and it's already jacketed nicely, so it'll be exposed a little bit, and I feel pretty good about that. So now I've got to strip these and go from there. And there is no ground, so we can cut that off. And this is going to be DC, remember. Now you might be thinking, why red to black? Because in DC, red is hot. In AC, black is hot, or positive, I guess, on the DC side. So that I want to make sure I have the positive here, and when this gets up into the camper, I will know, just because that's the way things are, that this is the positive side and this is the negative side. So we have black to white and red to black, and that's why I'm doing that. The wire is going to go all the way to the front of the trailer, but this trailer is very low. The front of it is all the way down, so you can see the back end is not up in the air very much. But I do have a couple of jack stands on order, and these jack stands are not for a trailer. They're regular automotive, but they're made for like a small car, like a Prius, so that they should go into here pretty good. I can get this maybe 6 or 8 or 10 inches higher up in the air. Safe, 2 jack stands along with my lifter over there, and it's going to be much easier to do this and to put the stainless steel conduit for the air to go into the trailer. So I'm going to be waiting for those, but there are some other things that I can be doing in the meantime.
And one of those is to weld some hangers on the U-bolts that will hold up the vent pipe. I'm trying to do them in a very specific way so the angle of the pipe is optimized in trying to install it. Fingers crossed on this one.
these two U-shaped muffler clamps are made this way for a specific reason. With this one, I'll be able to mount it this way so that the pipe, when it comes down out of the trailer, will have a place for me to clamp it and it'll stay up there. So this will bolt to the frame, and then the pipe will go through here. This one, on the other hand, is a little bit different. This one will mount on the frame, let's see, this way, right here, flat on the frame, coming down out of the underneath of the trailer. And I have it at an angle. I didn't want it coming straight, having to bend an angle straight out to the heater. Instead, when I mount it this way, it'll be at a 45. So it'll be able to ease out at a 45 and then go out and up to the heater. Anyway, that's what I'm hoping. A little more finishing up with cleaning it up, and then I'm going to paint them because these are steel and they're going to be out in the weather. So I'm going to put a couple coats of Rust-Oleum Farm primer on them, and then some paint. Brisk 53-degree morning here in Maine in May. It's been a cool spring, but it's nice because it's not too hot. It's good for working. Anyway, those jack stands are each 3 tons each, and this one is also 3 tons, 6,000-pound jack. It's my stabilizer that flips down. And I've taken the wheel off because where the vent pipe is going, it's going from this hole right here down, over, and just behind the axle and up into the camper. And I've already drilled a hole on the inside. Yesterday, I took and put the wire through. I used these hangers, and the wire underneath along the frame runs the entire length and then comes over here and pops up under the front counter, which is where the battery is on the inside of the camper. So the wiring is all run, not connected, but all run. So today is this monstrosity. Not so bad, except it is extremely stiff and tough. It's stainless steel. It's actually a pellet stove vent pipe. Flexible, but I call it semi-flexible. So let's get started with that. Okay, so here we are up underneath where the heater is going to be. And this is bent so that here's the fender and the tires right here. I'm going to bring it in enough to clear the wheel. And then right up here, ahead of the axle, is where the vent will go into the camper. It's right up there. So I have to bend this way and this way quite a bit. And then I've got to cut it about the right length so I can bend it up to go into the camper. And this stuff is stiff. Well, I've got 2 marks on this pipe. One where the actual bend will be, and one up here so I can leave some length and put something in there to bend it. Because if I only need to bend it up this high, a 45 with this much length, or a 90-degree with this much length. But this pipe is so stiff, it'll be hard to bend the small piece. So if I leave more length, it'll do that. So I'll cut here first, bend the pipe, and then cut here. Well, here it is, just roughly positioned in place. Up underneath, where the diesel heater will go, there'll be a hanger here that'll be hug this right up here. And it goes up over the axle and into the trailer, which there will be another hanger there. What a bear. And on another note, this is the actual vent pipe that I've got to thread down through here and around those corners. So I need to take that pipe off and thread this through first before I hang the pipe permanently. Now, I've got this extension piece of pipe, and I have this coupler that goes in between them. But it's not going to stay in the middle of this stainless steel pipe on its own. So what I am going to do is I am going to seal it with some high temperature silicone, which is used for putting stovepipes together. And then I am going to rivet it in a couple places so it'll stay together inside here and it will be sealed. The sealant will do a couple of things. It will seal this, and it will also act as kind of a glue. Well, there it is. I got it through from one end to the other. Yippee! This will bend up here to the stove, and this will just come through the floor, and there will be a vent on here that will also be glued and riveted on. So hard to get much of a shot here, but here's the hanger for the pipe near the heater, and there's where the pipe goes up into the camper. Okay, let's take a little look here. Here's the heater. It is bolted on, and I haven't coiled the wire up and plugged it in yet, but it goes right there. And there's a connection to the heater. Pipe comes up through there from down there. You can see the hose clamp. I put a piece of rubber here, and it's supposed to be gluing on. I'm going to have to put a little tape there to hold it, to keep this from vibrating and cutting on the pipe. And I've also put a screw right through it right here so that it won't come off in the road. It's kind of a snap fit, but I think it could bounce off. And of course, all my hoses are riveted on 3 points all around them. The box that I made in the previous video will bolt on. There are bolts that go right down through here. The exhaust system comes out from under there, goes along here, and sort of points down. That's a little muffler, by the way. And it came with a bracket to mount it, but I had to make it fit, so I bent it. And there's a tiny hole at the bottom of the muffler, on the bottom, for it to drain. When you do the exhaust, it has to be either level or facing downhill in order to work well. So the exhaust comes out here. The air intake for the combustion chamber is here, but the air intake for the part that goes out to the camper is here on the opposite side of the exhaust. It is complete except connecting the wire inside where the battery goes. And the wire's all there, so it's all ready to go. And I have to put the little mushroom cap in the floor. Got to pull the hose up and rivet it on, and put it down, and it's probably screwed to the floor somehow. But right now, I am going to put the tire back on and get it off these jacks, because I'm not going under there anymore now. And soon I will drive it down to a gas station where they sell diesel, and I'll put probably half a tank in this. It only holds a gallon, because I just want to try it out right now. And when we come back, the first thing I'll do is I will grease the wheels for our next trip, because it's been a while, and taking it on the road heats the grease up, and it's a lot easier to grease. I have Zerk fittings on it, and then we'll fire this thing up and keep our fingers crossed and hope it works. I'm headed downtown for a couple of reasons right now. One is to get the new diesel heater tank with some diesel oil in it. I'm not going to fill it up, just about halfway, because I'm about ready to try it out. And the second reason I'm going down is taking this opportunity to also warm the tires up, because when I get back, we're going to grease them. We're planning on a very long trip. Could be thousands of miles, 5 or 6 I estimate, even with these gas prices. So talk about being brave. And if I warm the tires up and I grease them, I have to lift them off the ground a little bit, and if I can slightly rotate the tires while it has warm grease in it, the grease comes out of the tires much better. The old grease, and the new grease pumps in much easier. So diesel coming up. Well, it started to click, and it is not very loud. It's often. Well, I'm inside. The vent is right there. Excuse the mess. This is after installation. I can feel air coming through. It's coming through like this high, and it's barely warm. The temperature started out at 61 degrees in here. I have a thermometer. So I'm going to give it a little while and see what happens. Oh, it's getting warmer now. Must take a while to kick in. Oh yeah, it's starting to heat up a lot. So this isn't a good winter day to try it on, but it is 62, so if the temperature starts going up in here over a period of time, then we'll see. We'll go from there. There's no odor from it at all, just warm air, which is good. I have yet to get a carbon monoxide detector. Right now I have a small smoke and fire detector, which has been here for quite a while, and it's one of those, where you put the 9-volt battery in. But I'm going to get one of the 10-year CO detectors. Oh yeah, hot air coming out. So I will be back to see if there's a temperature change in here. Well, it took about 10 minutes to go from 61 to 70. That's the inside temperature, that's the outside. That was pretty good. And I had it running a little high, so I think I'm going to be able to run it lower in most times that it's even pretty cold, and it's going to be overkill. The installation, went well, and there doesn't seem to be any leaks. Heat is manageable inside the box. I can always leave the cover up, like it is now. It heats really, really good. It's only a 2 kilowatt heater. I did find one thing though. The small controller that has an on-off and plus or minus button is RF, and it works from inside the trailer. The Bluetooth app works really good. It has some nice features, but it doesn't work from inside the trailer. So if I connect with it out here, it's fine. I walk into the trailer and we lose the connection. Of course, the trailer is aluminum, so it's a Faraday cage. And if I walk back out, I have to reconnect with Bluetooth. It doesn't connect automatically. So it looks like I'll be using the small controller a lot. And the Bluetooth connection, I don't know how much. I can't use it from inside the camper. So, it would have been nice in the middle of the night to do that, but I can control it. And I can hear the air speeding up or slowing down coming out of the vent. So when I push the plus and minus button on the small controller, I can tell about what's going on. I have it on manual mode, which means it doesn't stop and start on its own. What I can do is just turn it down and let it run all the time, and it'll stay on very low all the time. Or I can turn it up if it's really cold. But it won't start when it gets a certain temperature and then stop, because the thermostat is down here in the box. And if it's 25 degrees out, it'll just keep running until it heats up, because it's not heating up this box. It's heating up inside the camper. I could get an internal thermostat, or what some people do is they take the control panel off of this and wire it inside the camper. But I don't think that's necessary. This isn't going to, I don't live in the Arctic. This isn't going to be used all the time. And we just need to have a little bit of heat to bring the temperature up for sleeping, and that's it. And we don't do a whole lot of cold weather camping anyway. Success. Thanks for watching.